Snakes are a widespread species that can be found in almost every part of the planet. While many people find them dangerous and even have phobias associated with snakes, they are interesting animals worthy of researchers' attention. Due to the snake's inaccurate portrayal in media and culture, the general population lacks a comprehensive understanding of their nature. This essay will focus on the description of snakes and their animal behavior, specifically their nutrition, hunting, life cycle, and reproduction. Appearance and anatomy. Snakes are a part of the serpents family and have more than 3,000 various subspecies that differ in appearance, life cycle, nutrition, and predation. However, they all share common characteristics that mostly determine their animal behavior. For instance, as apparent from the snake's body, they lack any limbs and rely on their body movements for relocation called locomotion. While some species have organs reminiscent of front legs, they are either not functional or not used. Externally, snakes are covered in dry scales that facilitate their movement. This feature also helps them sustain body heat since snakes rely on the environment to maintain the needed temperature. As per the snake's internal organs, due to their unique body structure, they have been shrunken and placed in a linear way to sustain a snake's life. For example, most snakes breathe only through one lung. Another peculiarity is that their bones are flexible and aided with several ribs throughout the body to support their movements. Behavior between species. Concerning how snakes interact with each other, the animals prefer solitude and seldom can be seen in groups. The only social events that snakes have during their lifetimes are the mating and, rarely, sheltering. Except for these occasions, snakes prefer to be alone, especially during hunting and protecting the newborn eggs. While they may rarely share the hiding spots, this factor is mostly reliant on space availability rather than a need in social interactions. Thus, it can be concluded that there is no social hierarchy, structure, dominance, and territoriality among these animals. Predation. All snakes are predators regardless of their size and appearance. Snakes of a relatively small size hunt on insects and smaller prey while bigger creatures feed on larger animals. The snake's jaws are not designed for chewing but merely catching and holding their prey. Therefore, the ways of hunting differ tremendously across different types of serpents. Some catch other animals by wrapping their body around them and crushing the victims. Other snakes pin smaller animals to the ground and kill them. Lastly, the most infamous way of predation among snakes is their poison. Snakes can develop venom in their salivary glands and then inject it into the prey. Once snakes capture an animal, they swallow it whole and then begin the process of digestion. Venom is not only used for hunting but also when an animal feels threatened or alarmed. In these cases, one can either suffer from an injury or die from intoxication. Life cycle. Another essential aspect of examining snakes and their animal behavior is their life cycle. Snakes across species live 2 to 4 years on average. However, it is vital to note that some snakes can live up to 40 years in the absence of other predators and external human interventions. After developing to a needed stage inside a leather egg, a newborn snake escapes by cutting it open with their tooth and then losing it. After being born, their continuous nutrition by small animals is ensured by the mother. Eventually, the snakes shed their skin for the first time and continue as fully developed animals. Throughout their lifespan, they mate, hunt for survival, and, depending on the climate of the environment snakes inhabit, they can also go into the dormant periods for cold seasons. Due to the fact that they cannot control their body heat, low temperatures do not allow snakes to live actively during winter. Reproduction. The reproduction behavior of a species is essential for their survival, and snakes are not an exception. All serpents have a universal reproduction method by mating after hibernation and then laying eggs of their offspring. After the dormant period described in the previous section ends, both female and male counterparts are the most susceptible to conceiving offspring. Before mating, the snakes perform the courtship dance, which is debated to be either an interaction between opposite-sex snakes, a warrior dance to intimidate the male opponent, or a homosexual encounter. During the event, the snakes become intertwined with each other and stand up on their tails to eventually fall back onto the ground. After breeding with a chosen partner, a female snake begins to form eggs and lay them in a secure shelter when they are developed enough. Conclusion. In conclusion, it can be stated that snakes are unique animals in terms of their appearance and behaviors. As predatory serpents with a peculiar linear body structure and lack of limbs, they hunt in a specific way by physically strangling or poisoning their prey. There is no social need among snakes except mating dances, which are the source of animals' reproduction. Depending on the climate of the environment, snakes' life cycle can be disturbed by the periods of dormancy. This and many other essays are available at studycorgi.com.